Oh, my name's Annalise Wellman, like you said, and I love poetry. I've been a poet for years now, and my favorite thing about poetry is that I can use it to connect to the community, and that's what I love to do. That's my favorite thing, reaching out through language and sound and rhythm in order to engage young people to realize that their emotions are shared and that the human condition is shared and nothing to be ashamed about. I had to find a way to cope because I was doing things that were not right to myself. I used to self-harm and I used to cut myself, and that actually became an inspiration for one of my poems called She, because it was talking about how although a girl is seen at the time young, is feminine and beautiful, that she can be going through something so much harder, and she's not that beautiful light bird that people think she is. She's actually a weight and she's being dragged down. That's why I wrote that poem, so that people can see that although I may look happy, I'm not. And I wanted people to know that. And I had to find a way to release those emotions, but I didn't know how. And then I turned to look at my poetry notebook and I said, well, this is where it all has gone. So maybe I should start releasing it. And that's when I put up my website, the annalisewellman.wordpress.com, and I started releasing posts. That was like me telling the world, yes, I'm going through this and I need to accept it. And then that led me to want to publish a book in the end. But then when I did, I realized that how many other people are going through this. And I decided to share that poem actually after I found out my best friend was doing the same thing. I didn't know that. I was hiding it from everybody. And one day she called me on the phone crying and she said, Annalise, I need to tell you something. And I said, oh, well, what is it? You've told me stuff forever. And she goes, I'm harming myself. And then of course we cried together, because then I told her the same thing. And that's when I decided to share that poem to everybody, because I knew that if two of us are going through the same thing and people both think of us as these people with innovative ideas, these smart girls in class, then of course that other people are going through it too. Hurting yourself, thinking things that you don't deserve a life, that is completely absurd. Everybody deserves a life. That's why you're put here on this earth. It's what you do with that life. And that's not the bad thing, not what you do to yourself. It's what you do with your voice. It's what you do with your mind, these thoughts you have that are a mess, or a beautiful mess, and how you get them out, and how you tell people what you want to do in your story. It's your legacy that's in the end that's going to really be your life. And do you want to be known as somebody who was being held back, always had the potential but never could do it? Or do you want to be known as the person who put down what they were doing and said, I want to change the world?